Welcome to Sheet Director. We're excited to introduce our innovative Google Workspace add-on. Simplify data exchange between apps with Sheet Director, query data, post info from sheets to apps, and keep everything in sync. In this video, we will see how Sheet Director can help you to automate the integration between Google Sheets and Cin7 Omni. Let's launch Sheet Director and choose Cin7 Omni from the available list of applications. To authorize this application, we need to provide username and API key. To get the credentials, go to the Cin7 Omni settings option. There is an option called Integrations and API, select API v1. Then you will see the API username, copy it and use it as a username. To get the API key, select Regenerate Key or use the key if you have already generated the key. Here I have previously generated a key, I will use it as an API key. After providing these credentials, click on Connect to Cin7 button. Now the authentication got completed. I will name the service as Cin7 Omni Query Service. I'll then choose the service named Query, which gets the events from the Cin7 Omni. I'll choose the contacts object, and then select the required fields from the fields list. We can also apply the filters by choosing the required conditions. For now, I am not applying any filters. We also have a sort by option. For now I am not applying any sort by condition. Additionally, I'll also set the max results to 25, limiting the contacts data to 25. For the destination settings, I'll select the Query Contacts Sheet tab to present all the values from Cin7 Omni. By default, it begins from cell A1. Also, we have the option to create a new sheet by clicking on the plus icon, and turn on or off the Include Header and Clear Sheet before getting the contacts. I will proceed to execute by clicking on the Execute button. Upon successful execution, we can see that the chosen fields from the list are effectively brought from the Cin7 Omni and seamlessly presented within the selected sheet. Now, let's look at how to create Cin7 Omni contacts from Google Sheets. Now, let's make another service and name Cin7 Omni Post Service for creating the Cin7 Omni contacts from the sheet. I will choose the Post service. Then I will select a specific entity from the list. At this point, I have the choice to use an existing template or set up the process manually. For now, I'll opt for the template. Applying the template will automatically populate sample data to the spreadsheet, and it will establish automatic mapping using the template. This mapping guides us on where to place the resulting information in the status and result columns. In the sheet, you'll notice columns labeled Status and Result. These fields will provide you with the status of the posted records. If these fields are not there, these can be easily created by clicking on the plus button or choosing from the column dropdown. The mapping aligns the fields between the sheet and the Cin7 Omni. We can manually map by using the column dropdown. To create a new mapping, you can simply click on the plus icon. Deleting a field mapping is as easy as clicking the delete icon above each mapped field, except for mandatory fields. Feel free to use this sample template data and make any necessary updates. Now, I will proceed to execute by clicking on the Execute button. Initially, the status in the status column will indicate Ready to Post. Upon execution, the execution control panel will appear and tell us how many records are ready to post in the Cin7 Omni. At this point, we have two options, Post Now and Close. I will click on Post Now, which will create contacts in Cin7 Omni. After successful execution, each record will be updated individually in the Status and Result columns. And we can see all the posted records in Cin7 Omni. Let's prepare a new service named Cin7 Omni Sync Service. This synchronizes the contacts between Google Sheets and Cin7 Omni. I'll choose Synchronize as a service type. The Synchronize service allows users to automatically synchronize the data between Google Sheets and Cin7 Omni. I'll choose the contacts object from the list, and then select the necessary fields from the provided fields list. To ensure efficiency, I'll set the max results to 25, restricting to only 25 Cin7 Omni contacts. The synchronization process requires that synchronize keys to match rows in Google Sheets, with corresponding data in Cin7 Omni. You must select the synchronized keys in the fields list. It is essential to note that these keys are mandatory for the synchronization to occur. When there is a conflict between different data in Google Sheets and Cin7 Omni for the same data, either side needs to be overwritten to maintain synchronization. You can opt for either Cin7 Omni wins or Google Sheet wins to choose which data to keep. In the Cin7 Omni wins scenario, the most recent data from Cin7 Omni will overwrite and update the corresponding contacts in Google Sheets. On the other hand, in the Google Sheet wins, the most recent data from Google Sheets will overwrite and update the corresponding data in Cin7 Omni. First, let me choose Google Sheet wins. Regarding the synchronization sheet, I will opt for the Sync Contacts Sheet tab. And by default, it will begin from cell A1. After configuring the service, let us execute by clicking on the Execute button. The execution control panel will appear. If no records are found in the Google Sheets to synchronize, then the sheet director will get the contacts for us. A prompt will appear, posing the question, "Your Google Sheet seems to be empty. Do you want to get the records from Cin7 Omni first?" At this point, two options will be presented, Get Now or Close. You have to select the Get Now option, which will fetch the contacts from Cin7 Omni. As mapping is supported at Sync Service, mapping aligns the fields between the synchronization sheet and the Cin7 Omni. So now, as it's asking for intelligent mapping, I will select Yes. So it will automatically map both app fields and sheet fields. We can manually map by using the column drop-down. To create a new mapping, you can simply click on the plus icon and select Field. If you already have Cin7 Omni data in Google Sheets, then you need to select or establish columns to display synchronization status and results. By clicking the plus symbol, I will add the status and result columns to the sheet, and make any necessary updates to update the contacts. For some of the contacts, I will update the company value to Wipro and update their job title value. You can see the current company value and job title value of one of the contacts in Cin7 Omni. Subsequently, I will click the Execute button. Upon successful execution, the execution control panel will reappear with synchronization details. Number of new records found in Cin7 Omni. Total records that are ready to synchronize from the Google Sheet. How many records will be updated in the Cin7 Omni from the total records? Additionally, I will be asked, "Are you okay to synchronize?" This query is accompanied by two buttons, Sync Now and Close. I will opt for the Sync Now button. Throughout the execution process, each record will be updated individually within the Cin7 Omni. Upon successful update, the status column in Google Sheets will depict the status of the data. Newly updated data will be marked as synced successfully, while pre-existing data will be indicated as already synchronized. We can see the updated contacts in Cin7 Omni. Company and job title values are updated. Now, let me choose Cin7 Omni wins. With the Cin7 Omni wins option, recent data of Cin7 Omni will be updated in Google Sheets. I will clear both the status and result column values to get new updates of records. For testing this, I will change the company value of one of the contacts to HCL and the job title value to HR. Now it should update the recent value from the Cin7 Omni. Regarding the synchronization sheet, I will keep the same Sync Contacts Sheet tab, and by default, it will begin from cell A1. After configuring the settings, let us execute by clicking on the Execute button. After executing, the execution control panel will appear and show all the information regarding the update. If the selected sheet is empty, the sheet director will get data. Subsequently, I will click on the Sync Now button to continue the synchronization. Throughout the successful execution process, each record will be updated individually. We can notice that the value on Google Sheets is replaced by the recent values from Cin7 Omni irrespective of the update made on the Google Sheets. Also, the new contacts data will be fetched from the Cin7 Omni if we have added new contacts to Cin7 Omni. Until this point, we observed the synchronization of Cin7 Omni contacts originating from cell A1. Now, let's modify the cell value to be 5. Select another empty sheet for testing and proceed with the synchronization process. If no records are found in the Google Sheets to synchronize, then the sheet director will get the contacts data for us. I will click the Get Now button to get the Cin7 Omni contacts. If you already have Cin7 Omni contacts data in Google Sheets, then you need to establish the status and result column for synchronization. Now proceed to execute by clicking on the Execute button. Upon successful execution, the execution control panel will reappear with the synchronization details. I will click on the Sync Now button to continue the synchronization. After successful synchronization, you can see the status of each record individually in the Google Sheets. In this way, you can synchronize data from any part of your Google Sheets. Hence, utilizing Sheet Director makes it easy to query Cin7 Omni contacts information and display it in Google Sheets. Creating new Cin7 Omni contacts from Google Sheets, and finally keeping the information synchronized between the Google Sheets and Cin7 Omni contacts. With Sheet Director, you effortlessly harness the magic of Cin7 Omni contacts. Seamlessly query, display, and transform your Cin7 Omni contacts data right within Google Sheets. Experience the future of organization and data synergy with the Sheet Director. Thanks for watching the video.